Sorry.
It's game time.
Quiet, please. I am analyzing.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Is the next step the transplantation of the human brain?
Ballsy. Stupid, but ballsy.
Stand by for action.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Okay. Remember, we're not dealing with an intelligence on our own level.
Bring in the logic probe. Ooh.
End of line.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, hey. Did I miss something?
I was told there was going to be cake.
I lied.
Cake.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I really just I really miss doing this with you guys, and so I lured you to your computers, and we're doing the podcast again.
Okay, cool. Well, let's see. It's been
in the basement.
Man, how long has it been?
I think it's been about 8 years. 8 years.
8 years. Yeah.
Almost a decade.
So, but nothing's really happened in those. Right?
Well, I mean,
No,
we can.
Sitting there playing 4th Ed D&D. I can't stand that system. Why won't they just release something new for once?
Nathan, we're on the second part, like 5.5 now, my dude.
What?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Yeah. 5th edition released like before we stopped podcasting.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's news to me. Better be better than 4th edition. Ugh.
Well, from everything we've seen so far, it is actually indeed better than 4th edition. It has become actually one of the most popular games in the world.
There's no possible way they could screw that up. Why did it suddenly get darker in the room?
Well, I mean, they haven't necessarily screwed it up. There's been some controversies, as there always are in the gaming industry. D&D has had some issues with their monetization. There was some.
Do you mean Hasbro's desire to over monetize the living daylights out of every product they own?
Well, I mean, you could say it that way, I suppose, if you're going to be doom and gloom.
I mean, I could be literal and direct with exactly what's happening. You may have noticed that our friend Jeremy is not with us tonight.
Yes, our friend Jeremy is no longer with us.
Tonight.
Yes.
Due to commitments and responsibilities that he is not going to always be able to join to record. He is going to try to join us as much as he can, but it's not always going to be 100%. But as much as we can have him here, we will be glad to have him because he's still an amazing, incredible person and knows a lot about games. And I am completely out of the loop.
Yes.
In the last 10 years since we last talked, I've had a kid. And that kind of takes...
you had a kid before we stopped podcasting.
Yeah, but by the time we were getting to the end of the podcast, I wasn't able to make it as much. And so I was not there as often. So I've always disappeared. I was a little busy. Infants are very difficult to take care of, it turns out.
Oh, yeah.
And then they turn into... they grow.
Tweenage.
They turn into children and they get mobile and then really it's just it's out the window.
But hey, they're now at the age where they want to play D&D though. So
yeah,
I mean that's
pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
That's a new development. Yay.
Yeah.
I'm still being dumb and streaming on Twitch like we were before.
Yeah, here and there.
Well, when I can.
Yeah, when we can. I have improved my painting skills, and I have actually taken on recently my first commission ever. So I don't and I don't do anything by halves. So I'm currently working on 150 miniatures for the Marvel United board game.
And how many more do you have coming after you finish these?
Another 200.
Yeah.
There's only 350 miniatures in this.
Yep.
And you're only
And the
painting
whole-
all of them.
The whole game is like 350 minis, I think. Something
Yeah,
like that.
My
That's from Simon.
yeah, see,
Cool Mini or not.
Cool Mini or not, yeah. Talk about a company that's come a long way in 10 years. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Cool Mini or not has put out a lot of games. When we first saw them, it was oh god, what was that? Well, I'm trying to remember what their first game was because it was.
Gosh, I don't even remember. You guys came back from Gen Con talking about it, though. If I remember correctly.
I mean, that was. It is. I mean, Zombicide is one of their big ones. They've done Marvel United. They have done. Recently, they've done Cthulhu: Death May Die, which is supposed to be a fantastic game.
Okay. Looking up what little information I could find online, their first product into the tabletop game market was Super Dungeon Explorer, and
that's the one I was thinking of.
That's the one.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Played that.
I haven't played any of them.
I've
seen the Zombicide board game. You have that one, don't you, Ethan?
I used to have it. I have, in the last 8 years, I have considerably streamlined my collection for various reasons. And expanded my RPG collection back up. I entered midlife crisis. I decided my midlife crisis was going to be buying up role-playing game books that I had when I was a teenager. That's the ones that are stupidly expensive.
That sounds significantly cheaper than my midlife crisis, and much more expensive on space.
Computers, right?
Well, mostly it's retro computer games, but I've got, oh gosh, it's 800 boxed now. And I do have a bunch of old retro computers ranging from 1970. The oldest one I have is 79, all the way up through like 2000. So, yeah, it takes up a lot of space. I probably shouldn't have them, but that was my midlife crisis.
I turned 45 years after the both of you, so that was this year.
I'm 45 now.
Right,
Yeah,
I turned 40. I turned 40 5 years after the both of you did.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I've been collecting retro computer stuff since before we actually stopped the podcast.
Oh yeah.
It's just everybody knew that I was into retro computer games because I talked about it nonstop, but there wasn't a lot about hardware. But now I'm actually into building hardware and repairing old stuff, which is great. Which means that a lot of the role playing that I used to do has gone by the wayside. So out of everybody here, I'm probably the farthest out of the loop on what's going on in the industry and what games are coming out. I do have the couple that I know that caught my interest, but I'm well.
We are back and ready to tackle as older, wiser.
Wiser.
I didn't realize that was a prerequisite. I'm out.
Yeah. I'm gonna put him with that. That part.
Older. Okay, fine. Older, more opinionated.
Grayer.
I can do that.
Okay, more opinionated. But there is a lot. The industry has grown in 7 years. The industry has changed in 7 years.
And
3D
considerably grown.
Yes, so considerably grown.
And I think we can actually say that is all because of the massive expansion of Dungeons and Dragons, which, as much as I hate to say it, did start with 4th edition. It made it much more of an entranceable game for starting beginning players, and they've just continued and progressed. I mean, how many players play D&D now as of the last count? Wasn't it like 17 million or something like that?
It's more
like
than
the size
that.
of a small country. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, and you also have to account for phenomena like, we may have done it first, the whole actual, maybe not first, but we were in the forefront of the whole actual play thing, but Critical Role took that to a whole nother level.
They took it and ran with it.
The current estimates are worldwide that there are over 50 million people who play D&D.
That number is incredible. I mean, when I was growing, when I was a teenager playing 3rd edition, or 3.5, like in the early 2000s, the idea of 50 million people playing D&D never crossed my mind. It seemed like it was a niche thing. like reading the books that my brother would get, his Palladium books, and playing, Riffs and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and other strangeness and stuff like that. It was so niche. And I remember the satanic panic of the 80s. I may have been little, but our grandmother used to claim that we were going to burn because we were Satan worshipers, because we were playing Dungeons and Dragons and all of that. All it took was having some of them set in on a game session and realize that it's just math.
Yeah.
Before they calm down.
It's math and Monty Python quotes.
Speaking of RPGs that have come out in the last 7 years, Monty Python the RPG has come out.
Goodness, there's a Monty Python RPG?
There's a Monty Python RPG.
Monty Python, the Holy Grail. It's not an RPG.
Yeah,
the cover says so.
Oh, really? I think it would have been better if it had been Monty Python and now for something completely different.
No, it's a co-curricular entertainment program.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I believe.
It is called Monty Python's Co-Curricular Medieval Reenactment Program.
Yep.
And so there's they have different editions, such as the Sensible Middle Class Edition, the Public School Edition, and there's the Intangible Only Edition, which of course is the digital equivalent.
Yes.
But there is indeed a Monty Python RPG. It is published by Exalted Funeral, I believe, is the company that puts it out.
Gee, thank you, Exalted Funeral, for attacking my social and monetary status with the names of your books. I don't even know if I can afford the public school edition. It's $75.
I kickstarted that, so I have that book upstairs. They sent it with fake coconuts.
That's fair. Okay, but that's fantastic, though.
Don't forget, don't get the Black Beast of custom dice roll.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, that's definitely something that's happened in the last 7-8 years. A huge boom in IP related games, RPGs, board games. Board games underwent a huge boom over the course of about 10 years. I think it's a hugely oversaturated market, and role playing games have kind of come back into the zeitgeist at least a little bit.
I would agree on that.
I mean, one of the things to address is, our viewers are certainly well aware that 5 years ago we had, a whole pandemic since we were gone. And
it wasn't just a board game anymore,
and so it,
as much as we hate to say,
and board games became kind of one of the only ways to connect with the people you were living with without throttling them. I mean,
and role playing games on
RPGs exploded during the pandemic. The D&D players went from it skyrocketed. Uses of virtual tabletop programs like Roll20 and those systems went. Foundry, and it skyrocketed because people were stuck at home and they wanted to do stuff. And those of us who are RPG gamers went, "Hey, we do this thing where we sit around and imagine and have a great time
and socialize.
We've been doing it for decades, and around a table, we can do it online." Dude.
We got all these programs to help for that, and so we were able to take the D&D out of the basement and up to the computer room.
And then those people played D&D went, this is a lot of fun. And we're like, that's what we've been saying for 25 years. 30 years almost at this point. I mean,
doesn't D&D celebrate its 50th anniversary recently? 70
last year.
Yeah.
No, it was 1974 to 2024. Last year was the 50th anniversary. That's why one of the reasons why they released the new editions of the Player's Handbook, the Dungeon Master's Guide, and the Monster Manual for the 2024 edition.
That's the new second edition of 5th edition.
Yeah,
I have not had a chance to see those.
5th edition evolved 5.5 that they don't want to use that term, but with all intents and purposes, it's the same 5th edition you've been playing. They tweaked it a few things here, but I didn't really notice any huge changes that were groundbreaking or things that broke old books or anything like that. So
I was under
Yeah.
the impression from what little I had heard, because I'm going to be honest, my ear has not been on the role-playing game industry. I thought the next version of D&D that they were planning on releasing before they released this was called D&D 1.
D&D, their Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, their vision for D&D is that it's an always evolving rule system, that they want to step away and come away from the idea of different editions of the game and just having its Dungeons and Dragons, and it just continues on and goes and is what it is. So how that's going to necessarily work is probably what they just did was, they released new Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, Dungeon Master's Guide as the 2024 edition. Sort of like, they're releasing new versions of textbooks.
In some ways, it's very Wizards of the Coast of them, because this is a similar thing to what they have done with Magic the Gathering. Is they don't have editions anymore. They have like the base set.
Update for the set.
Right. Well, they have the rolling. Well, they have the rolling updates for the set. They also have base sets every couple of years, but they're done through like the base set 2020, 2017, base set 2024, base set 20, Foundations 2025. But to touch on a few RPGs that have updated and released since our last podcast episode, Vampire the Masquerade has hit its 5th edition in 2018. Pathfinder in 2019 hit 2nd edition, and I still haven't touched it, and that's a shame because I heard Pathfinder 2nd edition is fantastic.
Yeah, I heard it's quite good. He swears by it, says it's a very, very good system. I know they stepped away. They moved away from the sort of the standard. Basically, it was 3.5 or 3.75 or whatever you want to call it, and sort of started moving in their own direction as things have done with various game companies. Because we all lived through the D20 boom and the 20 bust, and seeing all those games sort of take that D20 moniker to various things, and then moving on.
Hold on 1 second, Ethan. Hold that thought, because we just had a wild Jeremy pop in.
Whoa.
His microphone is muted.
His microphone is muted, but he is here, and I'm going to. Oh, he's unmuted. Jeremy, can you hear us?
I can now.
Hey, Jeremy! Oh, I need to fix this.
As soon as I sent the question to you, it popped up in my Discord link from you.
Now, I realized that I hadn't necessarily invited you to the Discord, but I fixed that.
Welcome
in, Jeremy. So Jeremy, we're just to catch you up on what we're talking about so far, is we are discussing what has happened in the last 7 years in the gaming industry. Specifically, right now we're talking about RPGs. But let's go with
also what's been going on with us.
What's been going on with you in the last since 2017, Jeremy? If you want to give a quick personal update, and then what's been your gaming experiences in the last 7 years now.
Okay, so we're doing a full episode today. We're not going to be discussing how and what exactly.
Nope, we just jumped.
No, we did. We're diving into the deep end. Whether this gets released or not, this could end up being the true lost episode.
Like the first episode.
What's been going on? Well, from a gaming aspect, I played a lot of 5e, and I thought it seemed more like 2nd edition in some ways. However, I was starting to get kind of burned out on 5e, and also all the crap happened with, obviously, Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast. So once that happened, I was pretty pissed off just in general. And so I stopped buying their books because I was just like, I don't need any more of them. I'm not using half of them. And I can use any D&D system I want. Well, I have a group that we were playing, it's the dragon one. And I started
Pathfinder?
reading up on Pathfinder 2,
Talking
and
Dragonbane or
yeah, there's a campaign with I don't remember. Tiamat's coming back, and you have to stop her, and it was a 5e1. I've got it, but I don't remember what it's called. It's a two-parter. So in the middle of it, I was like, I need to do something different, and I really like Pathfinder 2. Yes, it didn't have. Yes, it was much more structured, but in a lot of ways, I need a game where there's structure and that things function a certain way, just because of non-gaming issues as I'm getting older and medical issues and such. I just need that. I need that structure completely, because if not, I get too lost. It takes me too much time to make a decision, and so on. So we transitioned that game over to Pathfinder, and we're having a lot of fun with that. I do enjoy Pathfinder quite a bit.
Yeah, we were just talking about Pathfinder Second Edition coming out, and so you have run it and played it and done all that.
Oh God, yes, it's beautiful.
Is it? Oh,
It is a beautiful game.
Can I ask you for my personal edification?
Yeah, ask what
Is the campaign you're doing, was it called The Rise of Tiamat?
I think so, maybe.
Okay.
There's the Court of King Queen was the 5e1, and then
Okay.
whatever the second one was. And
All right.
I first thought about transitioning the characters and continuing that campaign, but we decided that it would just be easier to start at the beginner box set with Pathfinder 2. That's what, and we expect right now they are trying to finish this dungeon that's in it's Troubles in Otari. It's kind of next after the beginner's box. So they're trying to do that. They unfortunately triggered multiple encounters, which in Pathfinder you don't want to do, because, well, it's just not good.
You didn't want to do that in Fourth Edition.
No.
You did not. You did not. I mean, actually, in all the editions, but see, Pathfinder 2 has a really interesting thing where you are basically, okay, for example, Robin's character has battle medicine, and battle medicine allows her to heal through medicine during battle, during their group. But she's also has her standard medicine, as does pretty much everybody else. And after combat, you take 10 minutes to heal up and use your medicine. Or if you have a focus ability, you can meditate. And it's kind of like the after battle resting, healing, and everything. And when you don't have that, it does turn into, how are we going to survive this? Now, that's not my fault. I'm not the one who triggered everything. I just run it to the end of it. So anyway, the Pathfinder 2, I would say that when you first look at it, can be scary, because it looks like it has as many rules as Pathfinder 1, but then you start breaking it down and you realize that it doesn't. It has a lot, but they're forgiving enough that it's forgiving enough, you just play it. And as you play it, even as the GM, you look up a rule and as you do, you start going, okay, everything is structured, everything is balanced. The monsters make sense in the sense of the build itself.
That's good to hear. I mean, that's really.
We're doing Pathfinder 2. Well, with my other dinner group, we try different games, and I've run some Dungeon Crawl Classics with them. I'm currently running a oh God, what is that thing called? Basically a space cowboy game. It's Firefly. I'm running Firefly, but it's mostly D6 rules and Wrath and Glory rules. Because Wrath and Glory, a D6 system, that's 40K. That's also a really pretty good system, but brutal. But anyway, I modified it, and we just started a Firefly game in the Firefly universe.
Cool.
And I was waiting because the D6 system had a Kickstarter. They brought everything back and are cleaning everything up. And all of the stuff is, I don't know about balance yet because I'm still reading through it, but it's D6 everything, fantasy, Star Wars, with the numbers, covered so Disney doesn't sue. Just a space opera, or in this case, a space cowboy. So we're doing that, but I've also been messing around with other stuff. Right now, I have the box set, and I've had this for years. It's a beautiful box set. It's the Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea.
Oh, nice.
It's a red box set. It's a retro clone. However, it is a much cleaner retro clone of D&D, of kind of basic D&D mixed with some AD&D stuff. And I've actually already transferred some of my DCC magic over to make it where basically it's a DCC-esque game, but a lot less crazy, a lot less charts. So that's what I've been reading up on.
A lot less violent and lethal.
No, violent and lethal. I mean, it's Hyperborea, so it's a Conan-esque world.
Yeah.
So it's just as brutal, but I'm also going to use those rules for my solo game that I'm working on. So we'll see. The one thing I will say about Pathfinder, and actually 5e did this too, is obviously part of the balance is how many hit points everything has.
Mm-hmm.
That's just part of it. And when I'm running in person, that's fine. When I have everything, that type of campaign. But for example, my brother, who hasn't played in a long time, he's wanted to play something. First, I was like, well, we could do Pathfinder, but see, he's not going to be able to be here. It's going to be just over the internet. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, Pathfinder's really a good game when you sit down at your GM table. Everything is there. But those additional hit points and things, it can make the running it a little bit different when it's online, at least for me, with my mind, where my mind's at. So I'm because we want to play through some Thunder Rift, and I was like, well, we don't know how long we're going to be able to meet during the week, so we want to have more than one encounter, like combat encounter. Not that Pathfinder, it depends on the players, obviously, in this case. But so I'm probably going to use a mix of the Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyboria with Rules Cyclopedia, but with some upgraded rules. And we're not using THAC0 just because we're just not. And I would never use Thaco with my dinner group just because I'd be scared of it.
We've got better systems than Thaco now.
Well, yes, and like I am not a big fan of roll under. I don't know why. Not a big fan of roll
Big
under.
number. Big number make happy.
Based games, but
Big number make happy.
Yeah, that's fine. But so, except in this Astonishing Swordsman, they do instead of a roll under, they will have things like a feat of strength, and depending on your strength, you have a 1 in 6 chance. Now, feat of strength is usually something more extreme than just using your normal strength. Or for the thief skills, it's a number in 12 that you roll, which is fine. When I started thinking about it, it works fine. And when I do my Thunder Rift S game, I will probably flip everything and just do simple DCs and go from there. So I just, while I don't mind Thaco, I don't care. I'd rather just have the ascending everything. And it never made too much sense to me that you were rolling high to hit something, but you were trying to roll under the lowest number to do anything with your ability scores. I was like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So,
a lot of RPGs, a lot of older school RPGs. Any board games for you, Jeremy?
I haven't been playing a lot of board games. I did. This was last year with birthday money. I did actually get into a Kickstarter that isn't a board game, but it's a mix of kind of a board-esque game, I guess, and an RPG. What the hell's the name of that? So I've been waiting for it. It's got a art style I really love, kind of a black and white, Escape the Dark Castle. I don't know if you guys have ever played that. That's more of a card game, but it has this certain art style that is kind of grungy, but a little dark.
Very underground, independent comics style.
It's like everybody's ugly, It's like everybody has boils, but it's. I mean, that's not what makes it.
And stars, violent damage, and stuff like that.
A weird. It's a good art style. I like it. It's good for like the DCC games and things like that. Advanced Fighting Fantasy, Dark Dungeons, the board game. Officially, it is a board game, but it's an RPG.
Isn't it based on a computer game, Dark Dungeons?
Darkest Dungeons is a computer game.
Darkest Dungeon, that's the one I'm thinking of. Okay.
That's a whole nother board game, and that's a whole nother subject that
can of worms that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
However, 5e does have a Darkest Dungeon module that really is kind of funny to play.
You only play that if you want all your players to riot and throw you out a window.
Well, I mean, you got to go into it on. You've got to just realize what it is. I mean,
RNG is never in your favor in that game.
No. But so I haven't done a lot of. I mean, occasionally our dinner group, they do more board games, so we'll do some board games with them. I've actually been, because I'm crazy, I've taken some of my old games and I'm trying to I'm trying to come up with a D6 game, kind of like. Well, I'm trying to morph Hero Quest, Advanced Hero Quest, and a couple other things together. And I've got some ideas. Things are slow nowadays. So I've been brutally like taking apart pieces from my old board games that I'm not gonna, that aren't worth anything, but also I'm not gonna do anything with them.
Based on this current economy of nostalgia, every old thing is worth something to someone.
Well, that's true, but when you've already taken out like all the pieces and you're thinking about cutting up the board, it's not going to be worth anything.
Well, it's not going to be worth anything after that, but there's someone out there. Like I had an old box copy of Warhammer Quest, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was complete in the box, and I didn't think anything about it. But apparently, that thing is stupid hard to come by, and people will pay large amounts of money to get their hands on it.
That's because, and if I knew you had Warhammer Quest, I might have kidnapped it and kidnapped you, because
I would have just, all you would have had to say was, "Can I have that?" And I would have given it to you because I didn't care.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. There's a whole group both on Reddit and Facebook that have taken the old Warhammer Quest and made it their own, and it's kind of beautiful.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And with 3D printing, 3D printing is at a point where various sites you can go to, you can actually build old board games that are been out of print forever. I got into 3D printing back in 2020, and I meticulously went and found and downloaded and rebuilt a complete set of Hero Quest. And right after I did that,
they released the new Hero Quest.
Hero Quest. It's like, really?
No, to point out, not only did he 3D print them, he 3D printed and painted the whole set too.
Yeah. 3D printed and 3D printed the furniture, all of the characters. I had the quest books. I had new cards made. I bought a wooden box to put it in and decorated it and everything. It's very cool, and I love it. But literally 2 months after I finished, they released. Hasbro Pulse announced the return of Hero Quest on that. I was like,
whoops.
Fine, take my money.
Hero Quest was from my childhood, so that was a Kickstarter I did actually go all in on. Like, I had to talk to my wife and be like, "Hey, I need $300."
Yeah.
Here. Was it that expensive?
It was really pretty high. I don't know if it's...
You got a ton of stuff.
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
Because I was looking at the version that had a tabletop, and it was $115, and I thought that was really expensive.
Well, that's just the base edition.
Yeah, this was the special edition with everything. Plus, I don't get a lot of time to play it because Robin doesn't want to play Hero Quest. And also,
I've never played the new edition ever.
So there's actually some better versions of Hero Quest out there, like some rule systems that you can use on top of it. I mean, Hero Quest is what it is, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but it needs it. I basically like to use other things or other rules within Hero Quest because the dungeons are perfectly fine. I like using 6 systems, but so from a gaming standpoint, that's off and on. That's what I've been doing. I've mostly been dealing with medical stuff. So
the got the new set, new edition, and never played it. Sounds very much like we bought the new Talisman edition. We've never even opened the box.
Did you buy 3rd edition or 4th edition, Nathan? Because we're on 4th edition. We're on 4th edition now.
It was undoubtedly 3rd edition.
We're on 5th edition.
Oh, sorry, 4th or 5th. Sorry, that's what I meant. It was 4th.
I have the 5th edition of Talisman. It Talisman has a very special place in my heart because my wife hates that game, and I love it.
That's Becca's favorite board game.
I don't know which version I have. It's very old and very beat up. However, that is going to possibly be one of them that gets cut up and used for other stuff.
Fair.
So,
if it's second edition,
there's a whole bunch of people who just heard you say that and wondering which edition it is, and may have had heart attacks based on what edition it might be. So
if it's first edition or second edition, absolutely do not cut it up. Find one of those groups online, sell it. If it's
if it's all the way up to third edition, that's going to be Games Workshop actually published it still. Fourth edition came out with the Black Libraries version, so it was a big rectangular box. And then after that, Fantasy Flight took it over.
Yeah.
Sort of the fourth edition revised. And then they lost the license, and then Pegasus Spiel put out basically reprinted that same edition again. And now Renegade, I think it's Renegade, has put out the fifth edition with one expansion for it that actually turns it into a cooperative legacy game.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have third edition and fourth edition because we have the Fantasy Flight version and we have the Games Workshop version.
I don't know what this version is. I just know that sometimes I really like to use tiles instead of a whole board.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had the patience, I would just print out my HeroQuest tiles. But when I look at the board of Talisman, I really like it. But we're never going to play Talisman here in this house. And so I'm like, I could use it.
Touching on a few other RPGs that have released in the last 7 years. There's been a lot of notable IP-based RPGs. John Carter of Mars got an edition in 2018 by Modiphius in the 2D20 system.
I missed out on that one.
Yeah.
It's still available, I believe.
It's still available, and it's still...
Yeah, it's in print.
It's in print.
There were three that caught my attention. Oh, go ahead, Jeremy. Sorry.
They've done Fallout, and it's a
Fallout is good.
20 system. I actually ran a start of that, and I'm still getting my head wrapped around the 2D20 system itself.
I like the 2D20 system. It is, I believe, if I remember correctly, it is a roll low system. It is the one roll low system I like.
Was that the one that the new Star Trek system was based off of that you were showing me?
Yes.
Yes, they just started with Mutant Chronicles, and then they started. That was their first 2D20, and then they did Star Trek, and they did a couple of video game ones. They are the ones who did the Dune RPG. The new Dune RPG is them.
That was one of the three IP games that really caught my attention. I got the collector's edition of
Conan. They do Conan as well, and Achtung Cthulhu.
Yeah, I got the collector's edition of Dune, the House Carino copy, and I have the standard book too, and I was very disappointed. But I can go into that later.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
No, I've got the Alien RPG, and I can't remember if it was the 2D20 or not.
It's not.
It's not C6 based.
But
I forget their engine, but
yeah. And I haven't had a chance to play it, but I love the fatigue element of it.
If you want to play it, you set a date that we can all get together online. I will totally run it because I had a blast running it for Ethan and
I just put up a bunch of dice for Alien. So
yeah, I had a blast running it for you guys. I just remember the whole you're not on the ship. No. Well, who's piloting the ship? Oh, Smurf. The ship has autopilot. And they just turned around and walked away.
Yeah. And the new Evolved edition comes out. It's supposed to come out next month. I heard.
I already want it. I already want it.
It's top notch. And then they put out the same company that was Free League.
Yes.
Free League Publishing. Yeah. Then they released Blade Runner.
Tales from the Loop. Then they did Blade Runner, which let me tell you, I was all in on that when it came out. Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies of all time. So
I have the starter set. I was super excited to pick it up. I have not had a chance to run it, and I have not finished reading the little rule book yet.
I got to play it at Gen Con last year, just out of chance because I had signed up for a Savage Worlds Robotech game where the GM didn't show up. And so I needed to play something else, and that was available. And the best game I played the whole con. It was so good. Wow. It was just fantastic. I really enjoyed it. It's very much an investigative gumshoe noir. It is Blade Runner.
So it's called a Cthulhu without Cthulhu.
To an extent, yes.
When Call of Cthulhu is done right.
You're much more, there's no sanity stuff, but there is, it's all about memory and all this other. I had a great time. Playing. It's a fantastic game.
We'll need to try to get one. Get the starter set run.
Free League also has
Tales from the Loop.
They've got Tales from the Loop. They have One Ring role playing game.
Do they have? Are they the ones that do Optimum Cthulhu?
No, that's Modiphius.
That's Modiphius.
That's Modiphius. Yeah, that's a 2D20 Modiphius game. There's also a Savage Worlds. Well,
a Savage Worlds version of that.
It's just the 2D20 now. Yeah, there was a Savage Worlds version of Octon Cthulhu, but I don't think it's supported anymore.
Okay,
it is not.
I also have.
It's just the 2D20 version, and I love Octon Cthulhu. It's really good.
Yeah. What was that, Jeremy? You also have what?
The Forbidden Lands.
The Forbidden Lands.
I thought it was the Free League. It's a D6-esque system.
Yes.
And it's a very.
Oh, that's their fantasy set.
Yeah. It's a fantasy.
It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. Now, I will say though, the part I hate is instead of any hit points, you take damage to your attributes. Now, that's fine in some ways, but those are your attributes, and it's kind of like that part. And it's just a personal thing I don't like. So that I would change, but beyond that, it's very. I enjoy the system and the maps. The maps are beautiful.
I'm looking at their books on their website. Like the Book of Beasts is absolutely exquisite, a leather bound with gold leaf embossment.
It really does some beautiful work. Their books are gorgeous.
Yeah, their original collector's edition for the original Alien was incredible. Like
I think they're in Sweden or somewhere.
Wherever they have owner.
Free League is Stockholm. Free League is based out of Stockholm.
Svenska. Yeah. Go to
their website and try to look up a lot of the Forbidden Land stuff. You can tell it's definitely, that area and just kind of the discussions about running castles and it's a very resource-esque game because how the setting is, there isn't a lot of cities. There's not a lot of coin trade, and players have to really they really go into the crafting in a very easy way. Like for your characters to survive, you have to know how to make your own arrows. You have to make, know how to hunt, and it's important to when you kill the animal to actually take its skin and you want characters that have those different things, but you also have to keep in mind that it is, while it's a feudal type system, it's a very dark age in the muck system.
And the mud and the blood and the guts.
And there's not a lot of, even the gods that they have are just very primitive is the wrong word because that's not
reminiscent of like how the gods of like Greece and Rome were, where they're just flawed as all get out.
Most of the gods are all like they are like they're a name of an animal or and they're just not friendly. Like yes, there's more friendly deities, but they're just not friendly. And their newest, well, I don't know if it's newest. They're one of their source or extra books is about basically an icy realm, which is even worse when it comes to survival.
The Bitter Reach.
But that's part of it.
The Forbidden Lands. Are you talking about the Bitter Reach?
Bitter Reach, yes. And because when you first start out in the original Forbidden Lands, all of the areas were there was mist, a deadly mist around everything, and then it started to leave, and people were able to go out. Well, all these communities have been cut off, and all of that. So good fun D6 system. Of course, it has a few flaws. I really do like its talent system. It's something that you could steal for most D6 games. And I mean, you roll D6s and you want to get a 6. That's it. Like, usually 1 6 is enough, but sometimes when there's more difficulties, another 6 is needed. And that's it. And more 6s that you get on top of that give you extra benefit. I mean, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, that's very much like how the Alien role-playing game is.
Exactly. Now, the one thing that I would possibly keep is they have one of your attributes is empathy. And unless you're just a horrible monster, you have to make empathy rolls before you just finish someone off. Because again, yes, it's a dark and horrible world, but you're just killing someone who's either, unconscious or whatever. And so it does have this kind of in-game way of, it's not punishment because it just modifies kind of things about your character. But it has a system for, are you sure you want to do that? Is that the right thing to do? Which is sometimes good, sometimes bad in a system because you don't want to force the players to do something. But at the same time, maybe you do. It makes you think about things. So it's a system I have been messing around with. And it's just beautiful books. Unfortunately, well, not because of the economy, they had to have a price increase. But the books themselves, especially their starter box set with both books, is a very nice box set.
Awesome. Other licensed IP games that have come around in the last 7 years. There's the 3 games from Renegade Studios. You got Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Power Rangers are all.
And also they have the license for My Little Pony now.
Yep.
Oh, do they?
We
Did
have
they get
the one before that we
My Little Pony
for the kiddo, and they're not interested.
They had a previous edition from another company, but then that license expired, and now Renegade has it. So now they have all of those.
We have the previous version.
Not the RPG, but the miniature game, the He-Man miniature game.
Oh God,
the He-Man miniatures game.
Yeah,
depends. Kumani or not, I think did it here in the U.S., but then everywhere else. Avalon.
Avalon?
No, not Avalon Hill. It's I can't remember.
No, not Avalon Hill. Avalon Hill.
Archon Press, I think. I want to say it's Archon Press, something like that. I'd have to check. But they did so there's 2 different He-Man miniatures board games. There's the one in the U.S. and then there's one outside the U.S. that is not the one in the U.S.
Oh,
great.
Yeah,
Clash for Eternia, which I think is Battlegrounds. I think is the U.S. one, and then Clash for Eternia is the other one.
What's crazy is you can get Clash for Eternia here now because I've seen that at tabletop.
Yeah, people have been importing it, but they can't. The company can't sell it to North America because of their licensing deals.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So, but you can buy it from independent sellers and stuff like that.
That may have changed. That may have changed because I'm looking at Bond's website and it's like, hey, you can get it here.
They have a late pledge for the Alien, the Evolved edition. Mm-hmm. I can get the whole set of all the books, including the collector's edition of each of the books and the minis. It's only going to set me back $430.
Only.
Yeah.
Just the collector's edition by itself, almost $150.
You asked about board games, but the this isn't board games, but it has a board. My brother and I have gotten away from big miniature games, but we love skirmish games. We just there's so many good little skirmish games that have either you can use any miniatures, obviously. We just started up Silver Bayonet.
Okay.
Which is a Revolutionary War with vampires and and stuff.
Right.
The books are very, very cool looking. And while they have their own miniatures, you can use whatever. I mean, and then we played Frostgrave, which is their fantasy version, which is a lot. I actually used those rules and ran my warband through Hero Quest just because there's a good rule system. And they're small skirmish games. And my brother, because he's crazy, bought a pirate skirmish game. I don't remember the name of it, but the box came with 2 ships that he's putting together and 2 pirate crews.
Nice.
But it's still skirmish. I mean, it's small, but we've just come to kind of enjoy skirmishing. 1-page rules, like
I have
their stuff.
I have beef with 1-page rules.
That's fine.
After looking at my manufacturing prices,
after looking at
holy cow!
They're still a very good system.
No. I'm happy with the rules are great, but man, like they're like they started off as like, let's be an alternative to Warhammer, right? And
once you factor in the cost of materials to print their army sets now, it's going to cost you as much, if not more, than a Warhammer army.
But which is crazy. You don't have to use any of those miniatures.
No,
they're totally.
You don't.
Yeah.
It's
crazy because they created the miniature set specifically to go with the rule sets, and you'd think because they were so adamant against how bad the bloat was with Games Workshop's prices that they were trying to avoid that, and that does not seem to be the case.
No.
What's your beef? I don't hear your beef.
Yeah, it's just kind of a bummer,
What's
sort of
that?
thing. It's like I really hope they would be cheaper.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Jeremy?
I want to hear your beef on them.
No. My beef is just what Nathan said. Is that for their armies, like if you want to buy their army files on my mini factory to 3D print minis for 1-page rules, it's like
full army set is
full
almost
army set's
$400.
Yeah, a full army is
3 parts.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
3 parts.
Okay, this is going to sound really bad. I just joined their Patreon a long time ago, and I got their armies.
You have parts of their armies. They give the Patreon gives you 1 part of each army set.
Well,
and every army has 3 parts, and so you got 1/3.
I have everything I need. In addition, I did go in and buy some of them.
Yeah, 30% off, which is nice.
Exactly. are they expensive? Fine. Use something else. That would be my comment.
But on the topic of skirmish games, I myself have 2 skirmish games that have become my ranting loves, and I'm sorry for at least 2 of you who've heard me rant about these before, but I don't know if I've had the chance to tell Jeremy. So Jeremy, are you an old school wrestling fan?
Like the Halcyon days of the 80s.
Like the Halcyon.
Roddy Piper.
Or them punching women. Or the women punching each other. If that says anything. So, no, yes, maybe.
Yes, no.
Okay. So the reason I ask is there is a British-made miniature skirmish game that is basically, let's take the concept of Blood Bowl fantasy sports and turn it into, and put wrestling in it. So it's called Rumble Slam, and it's fantasy wrestling. It's fantasy like WWE style wrestling.
We should have started off with that. That's totally the way. Blood Bowl, but wrestling. There you go.
Blood Bowl. Well, yeah, it's Blood Bowl, but wrestling.
Yeah,
the
that's fun.
miniatures are absolutely hysterical. They put out one of my favorite sets they've put out is they put out a Christmas set last year called the North
Mhm.
Swole.
Oh God!
It's six
With the
miniature.
ginger shred
Yeah,
man.
the Ginger Shred Man, Old Thick Nick, the Abdominal Snowman, the Barb Elf, the Gaines Deer, and who am I forgetting?
The worst part
Yeah.
is all of the side characters for that set all have the smallest banana hammocks possible.
Dude, I have made so many people uncomfortable with how I painted my abdominal snowman.
What's the
Yo.
system like though?
Oh, it's
What's
beautiful.
the actual
It's
dice roll?
dice roll is specialized d6s.
It's good fun.
You have three different color of dice. You have gold or bronze, silver, and gold, and each character has a stat card that'll tell you like their grapple stat is this set of dice. Their strike stat is this set of dice. Their defense is this set of dice. So you're rolling and counter rolling to see the success levels, and then you have like a health track. But you can do things like you can bounce off the ropes and go and move 5 spaces in a straight line. You can jump up on the turnbuckles and do a turnbuckle attack. You can grapple guys and throw them into other guys, and it's a really really stinking fun game.
It What it reminded me of, and I know it's not really a corollary, but do you remember that old WCW Nitro game we used to play on the Nintendo 64 way back when? Me, and Andrew, Jeremy.
Yes.
It
That
reminds me very much of that. That kind of campy silliness.
or was his name Beefcake? Is either Beefcake or Beef? God, I just remember the voice, and it was horrible.
Yeah, that was your brother. That wasn't me. But yeah.
But
Beefcake, as he called him, with the scrunched up face.
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so they've got hysterical minis. They're fun to paint. I'm getting a lot more work painting skin than I ever had before because they're wrestlers.
Lots of skin.
Oh, a lot of skin. Um, but the game itself it's very niche. It's not nearly as popular as it should be. It's also the entry point. I have to say this. The price point for entry is so ridiculously good. The core set I think is now going for $60, and that gives you 2 teams, a neoprene mat, the rule book, the dice, and I think that's it. But
There's something else that came in the box set too.
I'm trying to remember. I feel like I'm
remember
forgetting.
though.
Yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting something,
There's something missing from what you're saying, but yeah.
But yeah, it's a $60 entry point for a minis game is not that bad, and it's 10 minis.
No, not at all.
It's 10 minis, and then buying in extra teams. If you're buying the superstars, they have because you've got like your regular wrestlers, and then you've got like superstars, and so the superstars are usually anywhere from about $8 to $17 depending on the size of the mini, and it really is material cost. Like that is really what's determining what you're paying for your different minis. And then teams are usually $45. Teams of about 5.
That's 5, right?
Five
There's
minis.
Usually 5 in a set.
Yes, usually 5 in a set.
That's really not bad for $45 at all.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's $8 a minute.
So real quick on prices. The thing you brought up about one-page rules, Mantic Games is what I think of about.
Oh yeah.
Mantic Games said that they were going to be kind of
the affordable Warhammer. I remember that.
They have fun-looking minis. Price-wise, though, they're just as bad in a lot of ways.
I mean, I remember when you guys reviewed those Mantic sets way back in early Gamers Haven, and I mean, Mantic has really, if you look at Mantic now, they just released Halo Flashpoint, so they have the Halo license. They've got.
They put out the Hellboy board game, which is spectacular.
Yeah.
Is it? I saw that at the store and I wanted to buy it, but I was short.
It's excellent, and the minis are gorgeous.
Yeah. Mantic, I think, has also put out Hellboy the role-playing game, or at least they.
The fifth edition book. I have that.
And some of their prices are fine, but some of their prices I just look at and I'm like, okay, yes, you're better than Games Workshop.
But the quality at the time, when we did the reviews way back in the ancient times, they sent us a bunch of the sets for us to build. And I took the undead ones, the undead skeletons. And
odd.
Do you remember the skeletons, Jeremy?
Yes, I hated their heads. They were too small.
Yeah, they had these ungainly bodies and these tiny heads, and the detail on them was so poor that you couldn't tell where the hands stopped and the weapon began. The quality was so bad. Well, and the thing is we're like, well, yeah, it's 2/3 the price of a Warhammer mini, but at least with the Warhammer mini, you know where the weapon starts and the hand ends. And it just they weren't there, but now they've gotten great. But prices have to reflect that. The better quality you get, the harder it is.
It's kind of like Games Workshop. They're swimming in money
now.
It's not materials, and it's only partially licensing.
Yeah.
It's just because consumers won't stop paying the prices.
Yeah.
There was a point a couple years ago where I just walked into the store and I looked at the price and I was like, I might throw up on these.
Yeah.
It was just like, how is and especially with Games Workshop, how they basically are they wait for the parent to come in around Christmas and buy, a box set for their kid, and the parent doesn't know what they're doing. And the kid gets it, can't do shit with it. But Games Workshop is kind of, that's what they're hunting for, that and the whales, the people that and it's
they have all the different they have all the different army box sets and stuff, and then half of those army box sets are complements or supplements to a main army box set, but you're not told that anywhere. And so if the parents buy the wrong set, the Games Workshop's like, so sorry, you need this to be able to play, and the kids don't have it, and you go to look for the box set, and your store may have it, or you may have to go to the Games Workshop store, wherever that's at. And if you have to order it online, heaven forbid, because the price goes up through the roof there too. But go ahead.
If you want fantasy minis, if you look at the Frostgrave box sets,
yes, I have looked at those.
Those are really good. They're they were $32 for the amount of minis you get.
It was 10 minis per box for $32.
All the barbarians. Companies don't have to do that. It's just Games Workshop has decided they're god of the world.
And there are other games that are still fairly pricey. I mean, Steamforge Games now has the War Machine and Hordes license, which they've brought under one umbrella of War Machine. The prices are still they're not exorbitant, but they're still higher.
Pricey. An example of one that's similar is the Song of Ice and Fire minis. I was watching someone play that at tabletop back when it was new, and it was really interesting watching the war game, tabletop war game go. And they're like, yeah, you can just go buy a battalion, a box set that has a whole army in it. There's everything you need to start. And I was like, oh, okay. And I went and looked, and it was $260. And I went, I can't do that. I mean, just for example, they've started releasing the Old World. The Warhammer started releasing the Old World, which is based on the rule set when we used to play Warhammer back in the day. Yeah. And I was looking at it because I was excited. They have the battalion boxes just like what they had when we started, where you could buy a battalion box, and it was enough points with enough models to field an army. What's that?
Were they $20? I doubt it.
No, those boxes were $90 when we were buying them. The new ones, just to give you an idea, it's even the exact same models for the Bretonnian army as what they had back then. That battalion box, the same battalion box I used to buy for $90 is $185 now. So at least the prices have doubled, and part of that is what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, help me. Inflation. No,
Now,
part of it is
it's-
inflation. Think of it this way. What we used to buy for, what things used to cost, like, for example, 2000 when we started buying the Warhammer stuff, and boxes were $75 for a battalion box.
There's a whole other discussion, though, that we do
Yeah.
not want to go into.
Yeah.
Inflation.
The prices have just raised as time has progressed. Things get more expensive. Yeah. But yeah, things have just gotten more expensive. So there's partially that, and then part of it is they still have to pay import duties and stuff on some of the stuff for Games Workshop because some of it's still not made here in the United States. They do a lot of it here, but still some stuff still has to come over. And so what they do is they apply that import duty cost in their ledgers across everything, which raises their prices higher. And so, I find that to be kind of a despicable thing, but it's something that they do because it makes doing their ledgers, I'm sure, much easier.
They're pricing people.
Yeah.
And there's really no reason for them to exist because there's way better companies out there that, okay, here's my real big beef in addition to the prices. I got a dog climbing on me, sorry. It's their rule books.
Yeah.
Buy the rule books, and within not even a year, they are changing things.
Yeah.
And I know they have to make money, but they should really stop making rule books.
My problem for their Warband books was the whole, if you have an army that they made early on after a new edition of the rules came out, your army was good, but then as the later armies came out, because you had that feature creep and that rush to be the best army, you suddenly were left in the dust. Like, I hated that.
Why is it they have so many errors or things that are overlooked? And they release rules books, and then they have to go back and
do the errata
and this, and you're like, wait a second. The amount of money I just spent for this army.
And the book, which remember the army, the main book is $120, and the army books are $70.
Yeah, and they aren't. I mean, the rules are fine.
Well, they are.
But you know what?
No, they're
they
not.
should stick with mini.
No, they're not.
Actually,
I'm gonna argue this one with you. I went and I tried out 10th edition 40K.
No, 10th edition 40K is different than fantasy.
But
first and foremost, the fantasy rules just are a little bit more stable when it comes to what kind of games we're talking about. 40K is a train wreck right now.
Like I love some of the units they're releasing for 40K. Like I love some of the new factions that they've put out.
They look
but
cool as all get
man, the rules are a train wreck. But I do want to touch on the other skirmish game, but before I forget, that has my heart. It broke my wallet, but it still has my heart. And that is Monster Apocalypse.
okay. Yeah, I can see that.
It broke your wallet in more than one way.
Well, it broke my wallet because I'll fully admit I dropped $600 on the Kickstarter to go all in, and the Kickstarter failed. It didn't fail. It did
fail. The company kind of went.
The company went under.
Yeah.
But that was not Privateer Press. That was Mythic Games.
Mythic. Yeah.
And that was a whole separate thing.
That was a big can of worms.
That was a big.
You got your money back, right?
No.
Nope.
Nobody did.
You did not get your money back.
Nobody got their money back. No. Nope. Company dissolved.
See.
Company declared the company declared bankruptcy in France where they were located. And
and they did the liquidation format, which meant that they liquidated all of their whatever they had that went to their creditors, and anything else, everybody else was just left out on the porch. So anybody that had products that they were waiting on, they never got them. Anybody who had funded into a project like a Kickstarter, they didn't get the product, they didn't get the money back.
We could go in more into specifics because it was a big deal. There was a lot of stuff that happened.
We'll go into
that was one of those ones where people got done dirty.
That I think we should get into on a separate episode. But I do want to just touch on the positive that came out of that.
All the STL files.
Which is that Privateer Press, in an effort, Jeremy, you clearly haven't heard this, in an effort to bring back the Monster Apocalypse game and in a new format, and to do right by a lot of the backers. They Privateer Press, who again was not the ones who kickstarted the board game edition that they were doing. That was all Mythic. They decided to take all of the 3D files that they had for all of the minis, and they're releasing them as STL files. Anybody who kickstarted gets all the STLs for free.
See, that's good. That's
so with Nathan's help, we've been printing out a lot of well.
You and I own together one printer.
Okay.
The Saturn. Now that printer right now is at Ethan's because I got so heavy into the 3D resin printing. Yeah. I got so heavy into the 3D resin printing. I've just been constantly getting new printers. Like right now, I've got that Saturn 4 Ultra 16K that's just so fantastic that I want to replace the Saturn 2 I have, which is still a great printer. Works great. It's amazing. Prints fantastic. Beautiful prints. Looks great. But the fact that I can literally send everything from upstairs to the printer, get the printer started, have the printer printing, and keep an eye on its printing to make sure it's not failing and everything, and do that upstairs while I'm working upstairs is just, it's worth the extra cost. Yes.
I printed dice today.
Resin dice are interesting. We'll see how you'll have to do a test and see how they
roll
because
they stand up to
a lot of
I printed a bunch of dice for the Alien RPG.
Yeah. But like for example, I upgraded I had an Anycubic Mono X 6K, and I upgraded it to the Saturn 3 or the Saturn 4, the base Saturn 4. The base Saturn 4 is great, but the Saturn 4 Ultra has extra features I really like. And when I did that, I gave Jeremy my Mono X 6K because he had really good luck with his Anycubic printers. I wasn't having the greatest of luck. But the thing is I print all sorts of stuff.
But yeah,
but it's the whole reason we got into it was because of you, Chef. You were like, "Hey, let's get this Saturn printer." I was like, "Whoa!" And this was like shortly after Ethan had gotten into it.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Let's try this because it's supposed to be really good." I was like, "I don't know about this," and it was like originally it was
2020. I got an Elegoo Mars. Like old school, like the original Elegoo Mars, and started printing like a madman. And because I was working from home at that point and had lots of time, painting minis like a madman, just between calls and doing all that stuff. And so I went kind of crazy on that for a while.
And I love the printing. I can't paint. Unfortunately, I'm too shaky, but I love printing the stuff. And so I got larger and larger resin-based printers so I could print bigger and bigger models. I mean, after we got the Saturn and we found out how neat it was to print things, what did I do? I went out and I got a Mars 2 Pro.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, I got another Saturn. And then a Saturn 2. Now a Saturn 4 and a Saturn 4 Ultra 16K. And then that branched into the whole filament
and I was going to say, and then Ted got you into the filament printing.
He got me into filament printing with the...
I got a Neptune 3. I love it.
Yeah, he got me into filament printing with the worst possible printer that was broken out of the box, that Creality CR10 V2 Pro. We'll talk about that when we talk about that.
We'll go on. I mean, this is clearly going to be a multi-part thing of what we've been doing, sort of catching everyone up and doing all that awesome stuff.
But yeah,
that's when I would play that monster. I would play it. I just wouldn't own it.
Well,
I have some of your stuff. Not very many, but I found some that I'm pretty sure belong to you.
Wait a second. You found my old Monster Apocalypse stuff?
I found some of them. I'm pretty sure.
So that's I actually had asked you if you could find that at one point a number of years ago. I didn't realize you actually had found it. That's actually old first edition stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know how much is in there, but at some point
that's so cool.
I'll try to get it to you so you can use it.
So Monster Apocalypse, for those of you who don't know, is it's really a 2-player game. It's a one-on-one monster skirmish game where you're going between moving your monster and doing attacks with your monster and spawning units and doing stuff with smaller units. And your dice pool,
not just monster game. Giant.
It's a kaiju game. It's a kaiju game. And your dice pool swings between the monsters and the units, and it's a great tactical game. It's one of those games that I'm okay at, but not great at, because if you're going to be great at it, you got to learn all the special abilities of all the little monsters, because then you can develop the synergies and like there's a lot of depth to it, and people have loved it. I just love the miniatures. I mean, I love painting them. I love playing with them.
Anything that relies on RNG for the ability to do stuff, it don't matter how good of a tactician I can be, the dice will always get me.
Yeah, that's
the rule.
That's
the rules.
Balls rolling, Nathan is screwed.
What did you say, Jeremy?
Are the rules for free? Are the rules something you can find for free?
Not only are the rules free right now, the rules are free. You can download maps for free and print them out yourself, or you can have them print. Honestly, for about $15 for about $15 a map, you can have them printed on vinyl. Which
is nice.
Yeah, you can.
A really good price.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, I discovered you can do it for about $15 a map on Vistaprint. There's a way to do it. If you do it as a custom sized banner, you can print out these maps on Vistaprint and get vinyl maps. The only thing you need to buy, the only thing you really need to buy at this point is dice, and you can and they actually just reopened their store to sell dice. They reopened their store to sell old models dice, but you can also find dice on eBay. Because
stickers?
What's that?
Make my own dice.
Well, you can. You could. Sure.
Yeah. They're D6s.
They're D6s.
Based on D6s with special size.
They're D6s of certain colors with certain symbols. I mean, it's
that's easy.
So in other words, with proper materials, we could print sets.
Yes,
honestly,
and people have.
I might have to print out a couple monsters, because my brother, he paints. He was looking for something small but different, so I might have to do that.
So Monster Apocalypse, you need monsters, and you also need units. You do need the small units as well, because of the way the game works. But
let me see if I can do this.
Later, Nathan. We'll discuss that off recording.
Yeah. I'll send you some pictures of what the models look like, Jeremy, so you can take a look at them. Because I got some on my phone, I'll just text them to you.
Yeah, they've been releasing roughly once a month. They're releasing new models. They did not for the last 2 or 3 months. They did not release a set in July. I'm hoping within the next few days, because it is the 20th, and they've been releasing them roughly on the 20th.
The end of the month. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that any day now they're going to release the new sets. They did announce what the two next. So they've been releasing 2 factions a month. One good guy faction, one bad guy faction. And we're supposed to get this month, or not this month, but the next time they release a set, I should say, they announced that the new sets that they're going to release is the apes faction, which I'm excited for. It's like knockoff King Kong, and they're releasing the Mars faction, the Martians.
Which is a mixture of Mars Attacks, War of the Worlds.
Yes.
Because they have the tripods and stuff. And then there's one other fantasy or like science fiction story, Mars-based alien thing. They're all a mixture of that, which was really neat to see because you showed the models to me.
Yeah, they've previously already released the Cthulhu faction, the robots, the giant robot protector robot guard is what it's called faction, who's like the face of the product line, right? Them
Jet Jaguar, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
They've released them. They've released the Planet Eaters. They've released and they released the Shadow Sun Syndicate, which is basically Ultraman.
This is neat.
The models
are very neat.
The models are fun. Yeah, the models are a lot of fun. But we are at like an hour and 15 minutes. So do we want to call this part 2 in a couple weeks here?
Yeah, definitely.
So
get back to it.
It's nice to be back
I
in the
haven't
swing
really
of
talked
things.
about any of the stuff that I've been doing.
We'll get there. We will get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
And
bye, everyone. Have
bye,
a great
everyone.
night.
The Gamers Haven
Like,
podcast is
subscribe
back.
and share, I guess, all that good stuff.
And look
May
out
the
for us
dice river roll in
on
your favor.
yeah. Look out for us. We're going to be on YouTube. We're going to be doing some stuff live on Twitch at some point, and then wherever you get your podcasts. So
yeah, right now we're on Spotify and iTunes, and try to get us on as many places as possible.
Have you looked into Amazon? I know Amazon's music thing has.
Goodbye, guys.
It's on the list.
Okay.
Goodbye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.